Just remember, we're all patriots. You know that, right?
Are you going to be a patriot? Are you going to be a patriot? Do you want to be a patriot?
I'm trolling.
This is culturally inappropriate.
Well. Would you look at this? I'm back sniffing around. Look who came back, trying to see what the new hotness is talking about, trying to see who's sexy, who's looking real nice, trying to see who's fresh. Like Khalees said, young, fresh, and new, huh? Yeah, hey, man. Nah. First of all, welcome to the DY Prize channel. I'm your guy, DY Fly. Shout out to Dionne Warwick for that classic, You Gonna Want Me Back. That's where Just Blaze got the sample for Usher's hit, Throwback, featuring Jadakiss. But my question to you is, if AJ Brown is not traded, do you still want him on the team? Do you still want him on the team? Because, listen, last year was a year, y'all. It was a year. It was, I could have done without that year, honestly. But you see the new hotness, Makai Lemon in that nine jersey, the first 9 to be on the field since Nick Foles. And if AJ Brown was to come back, would he mess up the vibe? You know, would you mess up the vibe? We seen Jalenhurts smiling from ear to ear every time he steps on the field, just cheesing, right? We're going to get to him in a minute, but devontasmith, we seen Smitty. He looks like he's ready for the #1 role. He said, oh, this nigga's out the build. Let me just step up. But let me ask y'all, do y'all want AJ Brown still on the team? Because everybody's trashed him. Everyone's pretty much trashed him. The fan base is pretty much trashed him, except maybe like 3.5 people. So I just want to know, do y'all still want him on the team? After everything that you've seen, after all the antics that's going on with Diana Rossini, Mike Vrabel, their little collusion or whatever, him acting up all last year, do y'all still want AJ Brown on the team? Yes. It would be nice for him to be on the team if he was all in, right? Of course, our team would be better if he was all in. Our wide receiver core would be top notch, the best in the league, if he's all in. But the energy got to be right, y'all. The energy got to be right. And I don't know if he's bringing back that energy, right? But we see him sniffing around. AJ Brown was at the Eagles practice facility today. He stopped by to visit some people. AJ will be in the area this weekend for his minicamp. Eagles fans might not have to imagine the dynamic trio of AJ Brown, devontasmith, and Makai Lemon being a what if. It becomes reality. I don't know, man. I don't know. Makai Lemon, he's looking real sick. Look at this. Look at this. Smitty, the Slim Reaper.
Your angel of death awaits.
And Killer Kai. Oh.
I don't slang up bang, I just smoke motherfuckers like it ain't no thing.
Yeah, man. Look at him with that dark visor. I hope he keeps the dark visor, man. I hope he keeps the dark visor. But, you know, a lot of people were up in arms because Nick Foles came up off of the #9 jersey. I mean, some of these other players need to come up off their jersey #2, if we're being quite honest. But, you know, that 9, it looked good on him, man. It looked good on him. Like, come on, man. He's out here running, smooth as butter, man. Smooth as butter. Yeah. Look at him, man. Look at him. But look at him right here, man. He just looks so smooth. Give me that. We out of here. Look at him, man. And then, you know, he just looks good. He's looking smooth, looking real comfortable out there, just putting in work, ready to be the #2. Somebody said Aaron Moorhead better not be telling him some bullshit.
Simple Simon ass motherfuckers.
Oh my God. Hey, Jason Avant, why can't we get you in the door, man? Why can't we get you in the building? Somebody, Freddie Mitchell, Fred X, the champ. Bring him back. That's one of my favorite Eagles of all time. Can we get somebody better than Aaron Moorhead? Has he developed anybody? That's the question I want to know. Has he developed anybody? But a lot of people were up in arms because Nick Foles decided to come off that #9. But my thoughts on it is the Eagles organization has always been a proud franchise, even before we won the Super Bowl, right? Nick Foles, he was the guy to deliver the goods. He was the guy to play out of his mind that Sunday evening, and he outplayed Tom Brady in the biggest game the Eagles organization decided to honor him and, unofficially retire his jersey, which I'm fine with. Even though he was a backup, and that's what a lot of people will point to, that he was a backup. He doesn't deserve his number to be retired. But like I said, he delivered the goods. The Eagles, being a proud organization, they decided to retire his jersey or unofficially retire his jersey. And I'm fine with that. And since it was their choice to unofficially retire his jersey, it was his choice to hand it down to Mekhi Lemon. He reached out to Mekhi Lemon, y'all. So I don't have a problem with it either way, but it looks good on him. He just got to hold up his end of the bargain. It was an unofficial retired jersey, so he got to perform now. He got to perform, which I don't have any doubt that he will perform with that. But our other rookie on the offensive end, Eli Stowers, he's giving props to Sean Mannion. He says he's a really smart mind. Our offense is going to be powerful because of him. Listen, he's like the third or fourth player I've heard give Sean Mannion his props, man. It's getting your boy hyped up. But Eli Stowers, I'm kind of excited for him, man. He's a converted quarterback to tight end. He was the number 1 tight end in his class. He won the John Mackey Award for the nation's top tight end. So I am looking forward to seeing Eli Stowers play. I've heard people compare him to Evan Ingram type, even as high as Travis Kelce, just the way he moves and the way he gets open. And, just the connection with our own Jordan Matthews, had him as a coach. He's in good hands, man. He's in good hands. I'm excited for Eli Stowers. And we know Jalen Hurts loves to use the tight end. You see him here already blocking, putting them in blocking drills. And that they said that's the knock on him, but I don't see it as a knock when he is willing to do the work. So, but as far as other players coming off their numbers, this guy, LaShawn McCoy, he needs to come off that 25 for real. He needs to come off that 25. Because, the fall from grace it's been tremendous, man. Like, he really should be like my third or fourth favorite Eagle of all time. Like, Shady was nice. On the field, he was nice, but, he's been cooning and buffooning ever since he got into media. And it's just sad to watch, man. It's real sad to watch. He's up here with Acho and RG3. That is not company you want to be labeled with, man. But let's talk about the defense. Of course, Howie Roseman, he was doing his thing on draft night.
Who put this thing together? Me. That's who.
That's right. And he was able to pull off a trade with the Minnesota Vikings, Jonathan Grenard. He said when he was in Minnesota, he didn't see any hardware there. So I actually see it and hear guys talk about it. It's not just talk. This is how everyone carries themselves around the building in Philly. It's the standard.
This is culturally inappropriate.
That's right. And then he said he talked to Jalen Hurts, and Jalen said, we about to get another one. Listen, this is why I'm riding with Jalen, y'all. And this is why AJ Brown can't stay, because we've gotten back to the focus, to the main thing. Keep the main thing the main thing. What's the main thing? Having another parade on Broad Street. That's the main thing. Hoisting another Lombardi. That's the main thing. Making another ring where the wings pop out. And then this time, we're going to turn it into a drone. We're turning it into a drone. We're going to fly it into people's faces and let them know what time it is. That's the main thing. This is why I can't allow AJ Brown to come back, because the main thing is to get to the playoffs, make a playoff run, and to win another Lombardi. We're trying to get rings and things. Jalen Hurts didn't even put on the ring that he won. Why? Because he wants to get another one. He wants to put the second one on, right? But this defense is going to be ridiculous. Do you see it? Jalen Carter, Jordan Davis, Moro Jomo, Nolan Smith, Zach Bond, Jahad Campbell, Jonathan Grenard, Reek Willen, Quinyon Mitchell, Cooper DeJean, the Kingslayer, then Marcus Epps and Andrew McCullough. Now, a lot of people are saying that we need to address the safety spot, and maybe that's true for depth, but I'm good with Marcus Epps and Andrew McCullough. And the reason why is because Marcus Epps, he was so solid. He kind of solidified the defense for us last year when he came in. Once he came back and he came in, yeah, he solidified the defense for us. Andrew McCullough, he was playing well before he got that friendly fire injury from Sidney Brown. Yeah, man, I would be good with these two. And even if you look at defenses throughout NFL history, the ones that won the Super Bowl, if they have a great defense, you're going to look at it and you're going to see one or two spots that's like, oh, that's not a great player, but it's still a great defense. So I'm good with that safety spot, especially if Andrew McCullough can stay healthy. Jahad Campbell, I know people are kind of questioning whether he's the guy or not. I would just say if he can work on his run stopping game, then I think we'll be all right. I don't know what he needs to do. Maybe put on some N'Kobe Dean tape and study the film. But last year, when Zach Bond and Jahad Campbell were in the game, tight ends didn't catch shit over the middle. They didn't get any seam routes. They didn't get nothing. All right. So if Jahad Campbell can shore up his run stopping game, I think we'll be all right. Also in the news, we saw that the Philadelphia Eagles picked up the 5th-year option for Jalencarter and Nolan Smith. Yeah, man, this is a prove-it year for both of them. But with Jalencarter, if his shoulders can stay healthy, then I believe he can be a top 5 defensive player in the league. All right. And on top of that, I need him to start believing that he's the best player on the field at any given time when he's on the field. It won't matter how much potential that me and you see in this young man, that, you know, we see his greatness. He needs to believe it. He needs to be like, when I'm on the field, this is my field, and I'm just letting you use it. That's what his mindset needs to be. And Nolan Smith, it's a big year for Nolan Smith. It's a big year for Nolan Smith. Really, I'm looking at Jalen Hunt. I'm looking at him like he's Neo. Like he's the one. I mean, he led the team in sacks and interceptions last year, which is a rarity. But Jalen Hunt, man, he's the one. Nolan Smith, he's going to have to step up, though. He's going to have to step up. I believe he can. But I'm excited for this draft class, man. You know, Mekhi Lemon, Eli Stowers, Markel Bell, who is a mountain of a man. Cole Payton out of North Dakota State. Michael Morris out of Georgia. Of course, how we had to dive into the Georgia Bulldogs Ben. Cole Wisniewski, the safety out of Texas Tech. Uar Bernard, and Keyshawn James Newby, right? I'm excited for these guys. Speaking of Uar Bernard, do you see this? Look at this. 6'4", 300 pounds, runs a 4.6, 340, only 6% body fat. What is this muscle in his face? Somebody tell me what that muscle in his face is. Is that a cheekiest, boniest? I don't have that muscle in my face, y'all. Somebody tell me what that muscle is. It's just amazing. You know, you see him right here just gliding. And you know what? This guy, he's not going to fail, y'all. He's not going to fail. No one's going to let him fail. We've got the defensive coaches to really put him in position, and he's a blank slate, so they can just give him the tools. Even when Jonathan Grenard was talking to Kyle Long, like Kyle Long, he sounded like he was ready to come off the podcast couch to coach him up. He said the first thing he'd teach him is the bull rush. So no one in that building is going to let him fail, okay? Even if he becomes just a rotational piece, like he's never played football, y'all. He's never played football. I don't expect him to be a Pro Bowler. If he does, good for us. This guy's a freak. But I'm excited about this draft class, but I also want to look back at the 2025 draft class. You know, we got some use out of Jahad Campbell and Andrew Makuba, but nobody else really made an impact last year. I'm looking at Miles Hinton and Cameron Williams. Maybe they can step up if their number is called. Maybe Ty Robinson as well. Maybe he can develop and to get into the rotation. Antoine Powell-Ryland, I don't think he's on the team anymore. I think he's with Cincinnati. But I just wanted to say that I think we got spoiled with Coop and Quinyon, the fact that they made such an impact and became Pro Bowlers right out the gate. I think we just need to give some of these players time. The first and second round, they usually hit. So these other guys are just going to have to step up and show what they got. So, you know, the cream always rises to the top. So we're going to see if these other guys can show what they're made of. But you see it, Jalen Hurts, his former coach, Lincoln Riley, the head coach over at Oklahoma, he came by to visit at the Eagles facility. Now, that's 2 coaches in the past 2 weeks that came by to show support for their former quarterback, both Scott Loeffler and Lincoln Riley, right? We see it right here. Jalen Hurts, Jalen rocking the mustache. Jalen Hitman Hurts.
The excellence of execution.
Rocking the Malcolm X cap. Come on, man.
This is culturally inappropriate.
Come on, man. I'm rocking with Jalen, man. I'm rocking with Jalen. And Lincoln Riley, he was talking big shit on behalf of Jalen right here. Let's see.
Now, you had him for 1 year, Jalen, but could you have anticipated that he would turn out to be the franchise quarterback that he is now?
I mean, to have as much success as he's had early on in his career, I mean, that would be a tall task for any young quarterback. But I mean, the one thing that always stood out to me about this cat was he always found a way to be successful, and he's done it for so many years. And I know this year's another one for you guys where he's had a different offensive coordinator and offensive system that he's had to learn. I mean, this guy's had to learn more damn offenses than some of us coaches. And so, like, for him to be able to produce the way he has, despite all that, I think it's been impressive. And then, you know, the leadership and the consistency and the consistent competitor that he is really off the charts, man. So, no, and I think another guy that went to the perfect organization for him, and yeah, it's kind of been awesome to see his career go forward. And we've talked a lot here as of late in the last several months. I can tell you what, he is a hungry guy right now. And he's always motivated, but I feel even for him, a little extra edge from him right now. Like he's gotten his taste of obviously success and going to Super Bowls, winning the Super Bowl, but like this guy wants a lot more and he's coming for it.
You heard it right there. Lincoln Riley said he gotta look, man. Look, I'm riding with Jalen. All right. He's just he's putting in work. He's ready for the season. The only thing I'll say is I'm trying to temper expectations because even Kyle Shanahan said it himself that it takes about 3 years for a quarterback to master his offense. So if the offense doesn't come out firing on all cylinders, I'm not going to be too upset. But if he does, then hey, man, my black leather Timberland boots, they ready. All right. You know where we're going to put them.
Simple Simon ass motherfuckers.
The last thing I want to do is address the Jeff Stoutland quote that went viral this past week. Him saying that it's execution, it's play calling, let's just listen to it. Let's listen to it because I think a lot of people, they missed the context in what he was talking about. So I just want to listen to what Jeff Stoutland had to say.
Well, I think anytime things don't go well, and I don't want to sound like I'm on like in an interview but it's the truth. It's execution, and it's calling the right play at the right time and not running bad plays into bad defenses. Yeah. I mean, it ain't that hard. I'm not going to sit here and make up all these. That's pretty much it.
If you heard what he said, people want to jump to the execution part. So the people who will put the blame on the players or who are anti-Jalen, they'll say it's execution and point the finger at him. And the people who are, anti-Kevin Patullo or Nick Sirianni, they'll look at the second part and say it's the play calling. And really, that's where I was at when I first heard it. But when I listened to it again, he prefaces his answer. He prefaces his answer before he answers. And I just want to listen. I want to play that part again.
Well, I think anytime things don't go well, and I don't want to sound like I'm on like in an interview
And that right there, he says that he doesn't want to sound like he's on an interview. So he prefaces his answer by saying, I'm about to give you a standard ass coach's answer. So he says what a coach says, it's execution and calling the right play at the right time. Now, the second part, when he says not running bad plays into bad defenses, I mean, you can attribute that to Kevin Patullo and his awful play calling, but I thought that he just gave a standard answer. I don't think he was trying to take shots, at least the first part, maybe the second part, but I didn't read too much into it after I listened to it a couple times. But I would love for Jeff Stoutland to trash Kevin Patullo. I would love for me to be like, see, I told you so after my last video. I would love for this to be the case, but I just think it was a standard answer. Honestly, y'all, I would love for me to just go in and be like, I told you so. It's all good, but you see Boston Scott, he came off the top rope, man. Boston Scott came off the top rope and he said, yeah, man, 25, 23 and a half of 21. He's pointing the finger at Nick Sirianni. And he said, it's a team game, but it makes me feel some type of way when Jalenhurts, ajbrown, Kevin Patullo, and Brian Johnson get some of the criticism that they do. So for him to put Kevin Patullo in there and say it's not even all him, that's telling me that he's pointing the finger at Nick Sirianni. And hey, man, at least he has the balls to come out and say it. Some of these people are tiptoeing on their marble floors, and he was in the building under Nick's leadership, so he might know what he's talking about. He still has connections with the players, but I saw some clown on Twitter talking about, oh yeah, well, Boston Scott didn't help us win a ring and his word don't hold no weight, and try to trash Boston Scott. And I'm like, hold up. Is that what we doing? So now if Brian Dawkins speaks on a situation, his word don't hold no weight? Man.
Shut the fuck up! Shut your raggedy ass up and sit the fuck down!
Some of these people get too comfortable on Twitter and, they need a hug. I know they want some attention, but they need a hug, man. And they be getting out of pocket. But I would assume that he knows a little bit of what he's talking about because he still has connections with the team and he was under Nick's leadership. So that's all I'm going to say. Yeah, man. Shout out to Boston Scott for having the balls to come out and say it. So that's all I got. It's something new every week with this team, but we got some footage of the new blood, of the hotness, the newness. Makai Lemon, Eli Stowers, all the rookies, they coming in, putting in work. And ajbrown coming in, he come back sniffing around trying to see if he can get back cozy with all this greatness that's going on over here. So we're going to see what happens as the world turns with the Philadelphia Eagles. And shout out to my subscribers for rocking with your boy. Hit the like button. I'm out.